Good afternoon, grinders. Welcome to your SimLabs analysis for MLB today on Tuesday, April 1st. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD. BlenderHD, if you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button. We always appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the notification bells. Definitely tune in later today. Grinders Live is at 5 p.m. Eastern, and that's immediately followed by Crunch Time. Kevin Roth will be on with any weather updates that you'll need. We got the weather report on RotoGrinders.com. I guess the only game we're really worried about, I guess, is the Twins White Sox game. Roth has it as pretty cold, windy in the Midwest. Maybe some rainfall, maybe not a full 9. It's not necessarily the most appealing of games to begin with a low total and not the greatest of pitching options. So keep an eye out on that. And obviously in Sacramento, there's some scattered showers around. So Roth will have that update for the West Coast. Would probably be good to go there. Just it was very similar forecast like that yesterday. So definitely tune in later today. Hit that notification bell and tune into Crunch Time for the last minute roster news, lineups, picks, anything, any Q&A, anything you want at that point. What we're going to be taking a look at SimLabs today for MLB. One thing I like about SimLabs for MLB compared to NBA is that you can pretty much look at it earlier in the day, and not as much will change. Well, we may have some small lineup changes, lineup order changes. Typically no pitchers get scratched, but every once in a while it happens. So one thing that's good about SimLabs and MLB is that, I do suggest you use it closer to lock as we update projected ownership, as we update the Sims. Always check the timestamp and use it from there. But I mean, we can glean a lot of information today about it. Pitching wise, the top pitching options on the slate: Logan Gilbert at 9K, Chris Sale at 8,800, Justin Steele at 8,200, Corbin Burns at 8,600. Those are our top 4 options as far as optimal rate. I think Gilbert and Steele will be the chalkier options. We have Gilbert at 40% projected owned against the Tigers. He is the highest strikeout prop on the board. We also have Justin Steele facing the Athletics, so that is a very good matchup. The ones that are good pitchers, bad matchups is Chris Sale against the Dodgers and Corbin Burns against the Yankees. We both have them projected fairly high, but I think the ownership may be a little bit lower on these guys, and we can see here, right in SimLabs, optimal versus projected ownership. It will show you this. The delta between the percentage optimal rate versus projected ownership. So, for instance, Corbin Burns, it shows us plus 11, which means that we have him at a 25% optimal rate, and we have his projected ownership around 14%. So that means that he's 11 percentage points under-owned compared to optimal. And very similar Chris Sale, plus 8.5. So if you want to take a little bit contrarian, it's not like they're not going to be unowned. It's an 11-game slate. But the other ones that are off the board, maybe like Michael King, Logan Webb, Jose Berrios. We have Jose Berrios as majorly over-owned. We have his projected ownership at 14. We have his optimal rate at about 6 or 7%. Similarly, like Casey Mize, we have at 12% projected owned. We have his optimal rate at not even 5%. I'd probably be avoiding these two pitchers, but this is what the first dashboard screen on SimLabs will show you to give you a sense of under-owned, over-owned. Now, stack-wise, we do have a page called the MLB Stacks, Optimal Stacks Percentage and Stack Values page. We'll show you we have Arizona as the highest optimal stack today at 15.45%. Then Seattle against Mize, 10.62%. The Cubs, who yesterday obviously scored a whole bunch of runs, at 8% against Severino. Then we have a whole bunch of stacks in the 7, 5s, 5 range. I mean, the Dodgers are always going to be there. even though their value rating is going to be very low because they're very expensive. And the Cubs are pretty expensive also. We see that the top value percentage here on this side. Washington is maybe that will kind of be your vomit stack of the day. We have St. Louis as kind of a vomit stack, but over-owned. So you can see here ownership and optimal percentage stack-wise for a 4 or 5 man stack. So we have Tampa Bay as over-owned today, although they have one of the highest totals on the slate, 5.09 against Pittsburgh. But we have their ownership at about 9.72% aggregate and 4.66% optimal. And very similar to the Cardinals, we have their ownership at around 8-9%, their optimal rate about 2%. So maybe avoid the Rays and the Cardinals today just for ownership purposes. I mean, you can play them in lineups just maybe with a little bit different pitchers. Maybe don't play a Gilbert Steele lineup with these stacks. But I always like taking a look here. Regardless of how many lineups you're building, you can use SimLabs, right? You can use it for building 1 lineup, building 3 lineups, building 20 lineups, 150 lineups. You can build 150 lineups and choose the lineups that you want to play from there. You could save lineups from different builds. You could export them to Lineup HQ if you're a premium member here. You could change some of the advanced settings if you're so inclined to do so, right? So I'm going to reset that here. Keep it a very, very high simulation weight. But let's see. We got a 5-man stack, and let's see what comes up. Let's see what comes up. 150 lineups just to see. We're gonna exclude. If I'm going to have a choice today, I'm playing 3 lineups today. That's typically what I do. Play 3 lineups. And I'm going to exclude the stacks of the Rays and the Cardinals. Now, they're going to come up less in SimLabs just because they are over-owned. But maybe I'm making the executive decision that out of my 3 lineups, I'm not going to play an over-owned stack today. The chalkier, the stacks that are more optimal are actually like under-owned, if we see here. Right, we see like Arizona, 7% ownership, 15% optimal. Seattle, 3% owned, 10% optimal. The Cubs, who are expensive, but 4% owned, 8% optimal. So I don't mind the higher optimal stacks because I think they're going to based on this, they're going to be under-owned. So let's take out the Rays and the Cardinals. And I could do that in SimLabs by excluding the team stacks right here. So I go St. Louis, Tampa Bay. So it's going to exclude those and just show. I mean, it could show me if I don't. I could always skip past them. But if I just want to see lineups that exclude these, and let's also take away like Berrios, Mize. Like Gilbert's going to be a little bit over-owned. Like we have Gilbert at a 37% optimal rate, which is the highest on the slate for starting pitching. But his ownership is 40%. But his his projection is like 3 points higher than Sales and 5 points higher than Steals. So I'm not going to necessarily, 37% optimal rate pitcher on an 11-game slate with 22 pitchers is pretty good. So I may not mind, especially if I'm going to be playing stacks that are under-owned. I don't mind playing a chalky pitcher. But let's exclude in the player filters. Let's exclude Mize, Berrios. Anyone else? Severino a little over-owned? Yeah, Severino's over-owned. Probably not going to get that much of these pitchers anyway. Their optimal rates are pretty low. But just to see. Just 150 lineups. Just to see what comes out as far as stacks. You can get lineups. I know it's 150 lineups, but this takes pretty quick. Probably 6-7 seconds. You're doing less lineups. 2 or 3 seconds. So it's not this big ordeal that like, oh, it's 10 minutes before lock and I can't get my lineups out. It's like, dude, you could find 3 lineups to play in lineup in SimLabs. No problem. Okay, we get a lot of Washington. Washington's another team. Like we said that they were like a vomit stack, right? Because we see here best value, but about properly owned, 4% optimal, 4% ownership. So, they're probably right. If you want to play like a Gilbert Burns lineup, right? We see here Corbin Carroll. We got Arizona in here, Carroll and Gurriel. Like, this isn't that bad of a lineup. I mean, it's very highly rated. Right, we have another Nationals lineup. Let's take a look at the exposures to get a sense, pitching wise, what are we getting? We're getting a lot of Gilbert, Sale, Steele, and a little bit of Burns. Still getting over my cold, by the way. Okay, so we're getting. I mean, very chalky at pitcher, very chalky at pitcher. And as far as teams are concerned, stack wise, there's a lot of Diamondbacks, Nationals, Angels. Getting a whole bunch of Angels. What do the Angels look like today? Okay, they're actually a little bit overowned, but against Liberatore, let's see, with a 3.9 total in St. Louis. I mean, we're getting a some of them. Doesn't mean we have to play it, but a lot of Diamondbacks, a lot of National. I mean, these National stacks, I mean, they're cheap, right? I mean, other than CJ Abrams, right? We take a look at the. Let me take the starting lineups page. We take a look at the starting lineups page. The Nationals. I mean, a lot of the bottom of their lineup is pretty cheap, right? I mean, you got Josh Bell, Nathaniel Lowe, basically James Wood, CJ Adams. Those are the expensive guys against Berrios. So that is a little bit of direct leverage if Berrios is going to be a little bit owned today. So you're getting some Washington. Here's an Arizona one, right? And this doesn't look that bad, right? Moreno, Naylor. So you get kind of like middle and bottom of the lineup for Arizona, right? With Lars Nootbaar, with Mookie Betts, Jorge Polanco, right? So we're not getting as much Mariners as I expected, right? But getting a lot of Arizona. So let's take a look at some of these Arizona lineups. So if I want to play an Arizona lineup, I'm going to lock that in. Arizona. Let's find an Arizona lineup that we'd want to play. A large field contest, just low results range. We don't need to include, a million players and a million combinations in here. Let's look at 20, and I'm gonna up the correlation just a bit, just to get a little bit more like 5-3s, more so than 5-1-1-1s. Because if I want to play, if like Arizona, Washington, Arizona, Seattle, Arizona, I want to do some type of combination like that. So I'm gonna up this just a little bit over here, just so I get a little bit more of it. Okay, get lineups. We should get 20 lineups. Arizona in my mind. Let's go. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would be. Is it finding anything? It should find lineups. Okay, let's reload it. Okay, let's reload it just to be safe. They may be updating something in the middle of me working on this. So let's go back and put all this stuff in. Lock team stack. Arizona. Exclude team stack. I don't know if we necessarily need this. Tampa Bay and St. Louis, right? Those are the two teams. Player filter. Mize. Berrios. Anyone else? Severino. I guess that's not going to matter that much. 5-man stack. Advanced. Or up the correlation. Keep the sim weight high. Got 20 lineups. Let's do it. And I'm still not getting anything. Still not getting anything. That's always good when you're doing a video. You're not getting anything. We may be in the middle. We actually may be in the middle of a simulation update. Sometimes that's the main reason. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get Arizona. Trying to get some Arizona. Seattle isn't coming up as much in SimLabs as I thought it would be for a stack that should be like majorly under-owned today. Seattle has a 4-4 total against Detroit. I guess so. So let's go back. Let's try this again. Let's try this again, people. I do these recordings live. Okay? So this isn't something that I plan. Right? Just showing you the process of how you'd go and put together lineups in SimLabs, like if you were doing it in real time. That's the whole point. But I believe we're in the middle. There's going to be there's a Sims update, and that's the reason why we're now are we getting something? So we update this multiple times throughout the day. Right, we update our projections, our ownership projections, our player projections. We're still waiting. And we're still waiting. Well, this is not going to be a very good video. I don't know how we get to this point and then not be able to run SimLabs. Yeah, this is probably in the middle of an update. But today, we take a look here at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Where'd the Arizona Diamondbacks go? Arizona. Okay. Arizona, New York. Right, the projections are they're pretty damn high. Right? Especially the short porch for the Yankees against Will Warren. I'd be prioritizing the lefties. I mean, that's what SimLabs was doing anyway, right? Jake McCarthy, Josh Naylor, Kettle Marte, Corbin Carroll, Pavin Smith, I guess, although there's a bit more pinch hit risk. And SimLabs isn't. I'm not getting as much Corbin Burns as I thought I would get. But I mean, we have him as the most under-owned pitcher today. But obviously, you know, any pitcher in Yankee Stadium against the Yankee lineup, which is not like it's not like the word. It's not like murderers row. Especially against all these lefties with Burns, right? With Wells, Bellinger, Chisholm. I mean, Dominguez and Rice or whatever, and Cabrera. Would I take a shot on Burns? Yeah, sure, but I don't know. There's a lot of blow up risk. I mean, like the difference between Burns and King, for instance, 100 difference. Like I think King is safer, but that's the reason why his optimal rate is lower. Like we have Michael King at an 11% optimal rate, but I think it's more due to the fact that Michael King is much more likely. Like they project Burns and Michael King project for virtually the same thing, 16 and change. But I think Michael King's range of outcomes is much narrower. It means Michael King will more or less against Cleveland, who's not the biggest strikeout team, will get 14, 15, 16 points, something like that. Corbin Burns is more likely to get 25, but also more likely to get 2. So probably his range of outcomes is wider, but that also makes his optimal rate better. Right. We're still in the middle of a Sims update. I mean, we're still getting information here. Let's try something else while I do this live. The timestamp should update soon. Okay, now we're getting lineups. Okay, a little bit. Okay, we got some Angels lineups. Okay, now we could do it. Now we could do it. Let's go to large field stack. Let's just lock in Arizona. See what shows up. Right. Let's see. Should be working now. Okay, now we got it. Okay, here's some Arizona line. Okay, I'm gonna do what I did before. Okay, we got the correlation updated. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we got Gilbert Steele, Moreno, Naylor, Marte, Pavin Smith, Jake McCarthy. It's the lineup that we were looking at before. Right, with Polanco, Betts, and Nootbaar, which isn't a bit. This is a perfectly fine line. Right, if you want to, I mean, all these lineups are at 90, 90, 91. Right. Do we want to play Washington today? Maybe we do want to play a Washington stack today. So we got the Arizona stack. We got Marte, Suarez, Carroll. Right, yeah, this lineup doesn't have Carroll in it. which, I mean, you don't need Carroll. Although he projects the best out of the Diamondbacks. So look, what other lineups have Carroll that we could play? Do we play Michael Harris? Here's a Braves lineup. Do we really want to play Braves today? Against Dustin May? I don't know about that, but we got Riley. We got Ivan Herrera for the Cardinals. Sale King. Right, that'll be a little contrarian combination of pitcher. Let's take a look at Arizona lineups. Corbin, how much Corbin Carroll out of the 20 do I have in here? Yeah, I mean most of it. Carroll and Marte. So let's lock some things in that we want and see what the rest of the lineup looked like. So I want to play Logan Gilbert in these lineups. Corbin Carroll in these lineups, and let's see up the results range and see Arizona stacks. So this is how you use SimLabs. Instead of just plugging in players, it's like, no, who do I want? Who do I not want? And what does the rest of the lineup look like? Because that's what we're really looking for. Right, here's some Tampa Bay. So we have our let's look at our projected optimal just to make sure that, I'm not going like completely off the wall. 105 or so. Okay, so anything within 95 or something should be fine. This is 101.95. Right, so some Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay is overowned today. I mean, can you play two of them? Sure. Right. Why I'm not a big fan of playing the White Sox today. The Giants. What do the Giants look like today? The Giants. I mean, they're just sitting there. 4% optimal, 4% ownership. They're fine. Right. Their team total is what? What is their team total? 4.12. Oh, they're not horrible. But this time of year, at least. Right. We got Gilbert Webb, Gilbert Steele, Chapman, Adames, Benintendi over here. And you can just go through. You could feel free to pick whatever lineup that you want to pick. Right. Moraine, look, Gilbert Sale. This ain't awful, although it has, two, bottom of the order Braves hitters. Not the hugest fan of. Just going through, you got a low-owned Garrett Mitchell in this lineup. I don't know about that. I mean, look how many lineups you have to choose from. All these lineups are rated over 80. That's perfectly fine. I mean, this isn't all that bad. I mean, you're playing Perdomo at shortstop, right? Gilbert, Steele, Moreno, Naylor, you're playing Albies and Harris against Dustin May. Machado in here against Cleveland, which I don't mind. Right, against Logan Allen. This lineup isn't that bad. I mean, there's a lot. There's so many lineups to choose from. Right, here's one with some Giants in it. Here's one with Mariners in it. Maybe that's what I'm looking more for. We got Marte. We got Gilbert King lineups. 96. So this is even lower projected. So yeah, these ratings are going to go down a little bit more. A little bit longer of a video with SimLabs getting updated and literally in the middle of it. But yeah, you could play any of these lineups. I don't mind. Let's take away. Do we need to play Carroll in our Arizona lineups? Do we? We don't necessarily need to. That lineup that we had before up here was rated pretty well. Or do we even need Gilbert? Gilbert still. How about what do Corbin Burns lineups look like? Corbin Burns and Corbin Carroll. The double Corbin. We got to correlate the Corbins. So let's see what these look like. Just give me 10. So we keep Corbin Carroll into our stack, and we play Corbin Burns as sort of correlated, right? If the Diamondbacks do well, more likely to Corbin Burns has a win, and no lineup's fine. That combination is no good. Even in large field, medium, yeah, it's not finding. Let's see if I take out Corbin Carroll. Let's see if SimLabs has anything for me there. So that's one thing you could use SimLabs for, is just put together combinations of players that you want and don't want. And if the lineup rates high, rates low, if it rates too low, then you just go, okay, That's probably not a good combination. It doesn't want me to play Corbin Burns at all, apparently, with Arizona. But that first lineup that we had before looks pretty good. With what? Nootbaar, Polanco. That should come up again, right? We got Carroll on this one. This is with Woods Richardson. Here's one with Ian Happ, Aranda. If we just look through, got some Astros here. Yeah, then once we get down here, don't get that much. But yeah, this is how you'd use SimLabs. I'm just kind of going through. So Arizona, I want to play an Arizona stack today. Right, is this the one? Oh, this is close to the one that we had before. Right. Carroll, Gurriel, McCarthy. So no Marte in this lineup. Right. Moreno, Naylor, Polanco, Will Wagner, Xander Bogaerts. Rated 91. I mean, you're kind of spoiled for choice. I mean, obviously, SimLabs is loving Arizona today, just based on optimal rate. So Arizona, we got some Arizona stacks here, and then, like, let's say we wanted to play. Let's say out of the Washington stuff, like Washington as a vomit stack, we locked in that WSH. We could look at those as well. Low result range. So you could even go in. I mean, you could look and go, I want to play Toronto, I want to play Milwaukee, and I want to play St. Louis. Like, you could do that and just go into SimLabs and just go, well, I'm just going to lock in that team stack. And what are the lineups rated? Right. You take a look here. Burns, Steele, lineup 1. It's a low projection, 93. So we're giving up 12 points in projection for national stack. And then we're just basically jamming in Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll, and Lourdes Gurriel. I mean, this isn't that bad. Really, it isn't. I mean, not many people are going to play the Washington today. And, I mean, how many people are playing $4,900 James Wood today? Probably not many. Right, you take a look down here. Like, I don't mind these lineups. Okay, what's wrong with Burns, Steele? I mean, this is a highly contrarian lineup. You're giving up 12 points in projection to play this lineup. A Wood, Ruiz, Lowe, Garcia, Paul DeJong, and then you have Mookie. You basically have big one-offs in here. I think you kind of do the same thing with CJ Abrams in this lineup with Gilbert and Sale. But I don't mind this lineup. Let's save this lineup. You could save the lineups right here. But this would be a much more contrarian lineup, giving up 12 points in projection. So one thing you could also do in SimLabs is, save lineups and organize them whichever way you want. And then go, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to play, more of my volume with the lineups that have a higher cash rate, have a higher mean projection in certain contests. And then my dollar contest, right? You play the solo shot, the quarter arcade, it's a larger field stuff. And you go, okay, I'm not going to play the lineup that projects for 12 points low or median in the $88 contest. You're going to do that in the $12 contest or something. You could do that here as well. And bring stuff over to Lineup HQ if you want. So just a little explainer how to use SimLabs. And you can do that as part of the Combo Light package. Obviously, as part of the Combo Pro package as well. You get everything. But you get SimLabs. You get Plate IQ for MLB. You get all of our premium written content. You get Cheese's $1 Million Musings that comes out every weekday. You get that for all the 4 major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, and PGA for one low price, $29.99. Use SimLabs today, and most of the time, it's not updating in the middle of me trying to run lineups. You see how quick it could be. It's very quick. So build your lineups today in MLB. And tune into Grinders Live later today. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Roth will have those weather updates on crunch time later. And that's been your SimLabs analysis for MLB today on RotoGrinders. SimLabsTool.com.